When me and Frieza walked out of the cave and back over to our friends of Krillin and the rest of the group, Vegeta said, Kakarot, who's this woman? And I said I will let her explain that if she wants to, and explain why she has a baby in her hands. And she said hello Vegeta in the Frieza, and he said Frieza, no it can't be. And Vegeta blushed and said, what have you done to Kakarot, you evil witch? And she said, careful Vegeta, you might offend me and my new husband. And he said, what? And I said, I am sorry Vegeta, but things are complicated now and I don't know what else to do, and I really don't want to hurt her. I want to be with her forever and I will protect her. And he said, damn it Kakarot, what have you done? You have ruined our plans. And I said, we can make amends, I hope, especially after I made a deal with her. I hope she will honor. And she said, you will have to go to Earth now and tell your wife the good news or bad, however she takes it makes no difference to me, but either way you're mine now. And what is your name, Saiyan? And I said, my name is Goku. And Vegeta said, no it's not, your name is Kakarot and you know that. And I said, Vegeta, I like to be called Goku because that name sounds like you're calling me a carrot. And Vegeta got mad, said you're disrespecting your dead father and everything he stood for. And Frieza said, interesting, and she laughed loudly and giggled cutely, and she asked, so is it true that you Saiyans all name yourselves after food and vegetables? And Vegeta got angry and said, how dare you? And Vegeta said, we don't do that, it's Saiyan tradition. And Frieza said, it seems you have been misinformed. See, I believe you Saiyans did in fact derive your names from food, and I could probably prove that fact in due time. And Vegeta said, Kakarot, she probably killed your father Bardock, for God's sakes do something. And Frieza closed her eyes and sighed, and I asked, is that true? Did you kill my father, Frieza? And she apologized and she said, sorry my love, but yes I did. He was being annoyingly rebellious and I had a crush on him a bit, and I felt bad about killing him afterwards, except for the part when I laughed about blowing up the planet. And I sighed and said, I figured that anyway. I am not doing anything about all that now, it's too late, but I will make it right very soon. And I said, Frieza, I want to make a deal with you. I can give you everything that you want and more. In exchange I want you to leave Earth alone and leave all the Saiyans alone and planet Vegeta, you spare them and I will give you exactly everything you want. And Vegeta said, Kakarot, you can't be serious, this woman has whipped you. And I said, what? No sir. And I glared at him angrily and I said, she's the mother of my children, you little insect, how dare you talk to me like that? I could kill you and take your position as king. You remember that? Vegeta and Frieza said, oh yes baby, what a wonderful idea. I forgot about that little rule that the Saiyans have, that the strongest Saiyan can challenge the king for the throne. And since your father is dead Vegeta, what does that make you? I wonder. Oh yes, the king, and if my husband defeats you in a fight or kills you, he gains your title as king, does he not? And Vegeta didn't deny it, and I said, okay, so I'm not killing him right now, I've got better things to do, but maybe later. And Frieza smirked and I could hear her, I've never loved a man this much. I do think this Saiyan could be very interesting, he is so very handsome and I do enjoy making love to him very much, so yes I love him. And then before I knew it I was back on Earth standing in front of Bulma telling her the truth, and I kissed her and said, I'm sorry Bulma, I see you're pregnant with my children and I am sorry for leaving you alone here, please forgive me. And she said, well I understand, and I was going to suggest this anyway, since I can barely keep up with you in the bedroom sexually. I actually wanted you to have multiple sexual partners to satisfy yourself and that beast-like sexual stamina of yours. And Frieza said, interesting, so it seems your Earthwoman has no problem with a polygamous marriage for a new emperor. And Bulma asked, emperor, what's she talking about, Goku? And I said, well, as it turns out I had sex with a woman, that's royalty. Turns out Frieza here is the daughter of Galactic Emperor and ruler King Cold, and they want my wishing orbs. Well, Frieza does anyway. And then Frieza said, your wishing orbs? And I said, yes ma'am, I made them with my powers and Bulma here can help me find them with her dragon radar. You see, I know how to locate them and I will get them for you, and you just got to be patient for a little bit longer. And she said, what, angrily? And I said, sorry Frieza, but I'm fast, it will be quick, I promise. And she said, okay fine, just please don't take too long. And then gathered all of my Dragon Balls and we made the wish to Shenlong, and Frieza got her wish for immortality, and she also wished to be taller and to have a bigger firmer butt, and I saw her butt and I got very aroused.